Ladies of the Angel Cafe, and thank you to Aileen for putting this on. This is so exciting. I hope you're having a fabulous time. I'm so excited to be here. My name is Cassie Hicks and so excited to be here in the Angel Cafe. I hope you're having a fabulous time. What an amazing event that Aileen's put together. So thank you very much. I'm going to talk today about creating content that converts clients into paying customers using human design. So using human design to alchemize your content. So the good news here is that you don't have to create new content all the time. You can take content you've already created and you can rejig it. So if you're not familiar with human design, and everyone seems to be talking about human design these days, but if you're not familiar with human design, hi Elizabeth, this is a human design chart. As you can see, I've scribbled all sorts of notes on mine, but if you have your human design chart handy, grab it. I would be happy to answer any questions. So let me just introduce myself to, hey Sharon, to anyone that doesn't know me, I'm Cassie Hicks. I'm an intuitive transformational business and marketing coach, and I help spiritual fempreneurs to get fully booked with soulmate clients using energetically aligned marketing informed by human design. And just to clarify, hey Amy, we were talking about this yesterday actually at a networking meeting in London. Human design isn't the be all and end all. I just want to start by saying that human design is a tool, but it's a really powerful tool. It's one of my favorite tools. I specialize in energetics, and human design gives us a roadmap so that we can improve our marketing and get that competitive edge on social media. So just give me a little, you can't put your hand up, give me a yes or a hell yes in the comments if that sounds good to you. Social media is a really noisy, busy place. So the more we can position ourselves with that competitive edge, the better, and the more visible we are. And of course, I probably don't need to tell you guys this, but marketing it's an internal and an external thing. I'm going to talk about that more when I go through my talk with the human design. But human design helps you to not only to understand yourself on a deeper inner level, but also how to communicate that through your marketing. Hey Julie. Because marketing is about communication, it's about articulating your message and sharing your gifts with the world. And human design gives us, as I say, a tool to really tap into our own energetic blueprint and market to our strengths. So without further ado, let's jump straight in. I say, if you're just jumping on now, if you've got your human design chart, we're only going to be looking at the top part of the chart, because when you get your human design chart, and if you don't have it, I'll put a link in afterwards, you get a big 30-page report, which can be a bit overwhelming. So in terms of human design for marketing, we're just going to be looking at these top things along the top here. So you don't need to worry about anything else. I have a free training where I talk about more depth about the defined centers, the profiles, the superhero characters from your profile numbers. So if you want to dive deeper into that, I'll put a link to the free training. I think I've put it in the description. There's a link to a free training at the end. So what is content alchemy? So you're probably all familiar with content. This is the posts, the lives, the videos, the reels, the stories that we're sharing on social media. Content alchemy is about using your energy as informed by your human design to activate and motivate your audience to take action, because it's no good posting on social media if your audience aren't activated, if people aren't seeing your posts, if your audience aren't responding and contacting you and inquiring and wanting to work with you. So I'm all about helping you to activate your audience through your content. So let me jump straight in. Now, human design influences every aspect of our lives, and it's been absolutely transformational for me. One of the big things that human design has done for me is to help me to understand how I'm programmed energetically so that I can create content and offers and programs. So I'm talking about delivery of programs there as well. Hey Corey, hey Sharon. As well as showing up in your most powerful, authentic self. Because how different do you feel when you feel aligned and your frequency's good and you're in a really good place, and that's coming through in your marketing, as opposed to marketing where you're doing what you feel you should, and it can feel a bit sticky and a bit heavy, and marketing can start to feel like a chore when you're in that place. So we want to be in this place of alignment and flow, and as I say, human design is going to show us how to do that. So grab your charts, and the first thing I want you to have a look at is your type. Are you a manifesting generator, projector, reflector, or manifester? Now your type, hey Jane, your type is, let's break it down into different types of marketing. Your type is really going to help you to hone your strategy, your marketing strategy. Now, when I work with clients and look at your type, your human design type, we're very much looking at your aura first of all, your energetic, your auras. And this helps to define your strategy, but also visibility, how you get seen, get known, get booked online, and how you grow your audience. So that's quite a big promise, isn't it, that I'm dangling in front of you just from knowing your type. So let's look at the different auras of human design. So if you are a manifestor, any manifestors here, share with me in the comments if you're a manifestor. The manifestor energy it's quite a localized energy in the body, and it's quite contained. Now, if you are a manifestor, you are someone who can initiate with your offers. You don't need to wait, you don't need to be invited. You can just put your offers out into the world and say, here you go. But one caveat to the manifestor energy is, if you're a manifestor, make sure that you inform. So tell people what you're doing, share the behind the scenes of what you're doing. So as I say, I'm just trying to draw this. In the free training that I'll give you the link to, there's actually a diagram of these different auras, so you can see the visual. So the manifestor energy is quite contained. Now let's talk about manifesting generators and generators. Much bigger energy, and that's because manifesting generators and generators, we have energy centers within us, and I'm a manifesting generator myself, where we are creating that energy. We can keep going and going. We are energetic powerhouses from within, and our energy is a very radiant energy. People find the energy of manifesting generators and generators quite an attractive energy. So it's an energy like this. Let's talk about projectors. Any projectors here? The projector energy is an energy, it's quite an intense energy. Some people find projectors quite intense, and it's an energy that goes out. I don't know if you can, this is making sense with the arm movements, but the projector energy it's like an X-ray. It's like those superheroes that you see in the movies, where they can actually, like, I think it's Superman that's got the X-ray vision, can actually see, and the aura of a projector is quite an externally focused aura, which is why some people find projectors quite intense, and they can find it a little bit almost overwhelming to be in that projector energy. So this is why for projectors, you'll see on your chart, if you're a projector, you'll see on your chart, and if you can see that, that you need to wait to be invited. So in terms of your strategy, your marketing strategy as a projector, projectors need to really build authority and position themselves as an authority. And I always say to my projector clients, talk about the fact that you're a projector. Enough people know about human design now and what that means, that projector energy, projectors can see things. It's like a helicopter view. So the manifesting generators and generators are on the ground doing the work, being busy. Projectors are up in the helicopter. They have, you know, with the searchlight, they have a very different view, a very different perspective, and they can see things and suggest different ways to do things because they have that very different perspective. Just to go back to manifesting generators and generators, the strategy, and this affects marketing and everything in life actually, our strategy is to respond. Now, I just want to clarify something here. Sometimes people think that waiting to respond means you have to wait. Hi, Amanda. That you have to wait and you're sitting here, you know, meditating and manifesting and waiting for something to fall in your lap. No, here's the thing about manifesting generators and generators. It's about creating opportunities to respond to. So your marketing strategy is going to be creating opportunities to respond to. And again, this is both an internal thing and an external thing, and I'll just explain that. So internally, this is about you creating those opportunities by understanding that you're looking for signs. And also the internal part of manifesting generators, we're driven, if you've got a sacral authority, and again, look on your chart, you can see where it says inner authority. If you've got a sacral authority, we have a sense, we have a feeling, and if you can learn to work with, if you've got a sacral authority, if you can learn to work with your sacral, that will give you that hell yes or no. It's a binary yes or no decision. So you can create, so as a manifesting generator, you can create opportunities to respond to, and they're going to come from within you. You're going to find things that light you up. You're going to be putting out the radar for things to respond to, but internally it's going to be that feeling. So either emotionally, if you're an emotional authority, or from the sacral. And as I say, learning to work with the sacral. The external focusing part of your strategy is actually, I call it the tentacle strategy. I once got that wrong and said testicle instead of tentacle, but I'm not going to do that again today. The tentacle strategy. Now, let me just explain this. It's also known as the Walker's Crisps strategy. Do you know, you remember at Christmas, Walker's Crisps in the UK at Christmas time do these wacky flavours of crisps. They do the Brussels sprouts, they do the Prosecco, they do the flavour of people that don't like Brussels sprouts, and all these different types of crisps. And what they're doing is they're putting out tentacles, they're testing the market. And that's the exact strategy that you need to use if you're a manifesting generator or a generator, is to be putting out those tentacles. These are tentacles. And you're seeing what people are responding to. But also don't forget the internal part. You're putting out tentacles, the things that you feel lit up about. So we want that alignment between what you feel lit up about and excited to share, and getting that feedback from outside of yourself. So I hope that makes sense. Share in the comments. It's totally making sense, super helpful, fantastic. Any reflectors here today? Reflectors are their energy. So we've got the manifestors as a very centralized to the body. We've got manifesting generators. Generators is a much sort of wider energy that's attracting people and things in. We've got projector, which is this very focused, intense energy that's going outwards. Reflectors energy is like this. And reflectors are basically mirrors and mirroring. So reflectors are really rare. So if there's any reflectors here, let me know. I've only actually worked with 2 reflectors in all the year. I've been working with human design for about 5 or 6 years, and I've only actually worked with 2 reflectors. So quite rare. I'm always excited when I meet a reflector. So let's carry on. So what do we need to get to attract clients into our business with our content? We need to attract, connect, and convert. So I've talked about the overall marketing strategy. Now let's talk about connect. Let's talk about your brand personality. So how important is your brand when you're marketing a business? Super, super important, isn't it? What defines your brand in terms of your personality and your energy? Well, that you can see, one part of it, a very important part, is your profile lines. So you'll see there's 2 numbers up at the top here. So for example, on this is mine, I'm a 2-4. You might be, I've got another example which is a 2-5. So you're going to have a look at your profile lines. And your profile lines give you a lot of insight into, as I say, your personality, your characteristics. And this is a really, really important part of your brand. So let me give you an example. I haven't got time to go through all of them. There's 12 different types. But let's say, I'm going to give you an example of the 2-5. Okay. So the 2-5, the 2 is the hermit, and the 5 is they call it the maverick. I actually prefer to call it the rule breaker. Any 2-5s here? Share your profile numbers in the comments and let's see who we've got here. So let's say, for example, you are a 2-5. The 2 line is the hermit line. It's a very wise line, but it's a line that people who have the 2 line often don't realize how talented they are. They have talents and gifts like everybody does, but they often don't realize they need other people sometimes to really point out what those talents are. And it's because when you've got the 2 line, you very much, it's just so natural to you to have this very sort of wise but hermit line. So the 2 line's quite an introverted line. And I'm a 2-4. So when you've got the 2 line, here's where this shows up in terms of marketing in your programs, is giving yourself permission to have that hermit time. So what this looks like in terms of your marketing is using funnels, using scheduling, using automation, so that when you're having your hermit days and you don't feel like talking to people and going live and being out in the world, you can use that automation, those funnels in your marketing. I'm going to keep going and I'll answer questions. I'll make sure there's time for questions at the end. So I will come back to you, Jane. The 5 line is, like I say, I call it the rule breaker. The 5, if you've anyone here with a 5, oh, Corey's a 3-5. I would have known you were a 5. So the 5 line is rule breaker. The 5 line people are here in the world to question the way things are done, to push the boundary. So can you imagine if you've got a 5 line and you're a projector, so you've got that helicopter perspective and you've got that sort of, it may already have been done that way, but I'm going to do something different. And the 5 line are very much people who are driving social change in the world. So I want you to think about your profile lines and I want you to think about how this comes through in your marketing. So let's say you have got a 5 line in your profile. That's something to really own and be proud of and share in your content. You don't just need to go along with what everyone else is doing. If you feel like you want to do things in a certain way, and that goes for everybody really, but particularly the 5 lines are probably chomping at the bit thinking, this is so boring, everyone's doing things in a certain way. I actually see things differently. I don't want to be doing the same as everyone else. And I love the 5 lines. Embrace it, own it, do things your way. If you want to break the rules, and I just want to share a quick story of a client of mine who's a projector and she's also got a 5 line in her profile. She realized that she'd been such a good girl in her life and done things the way she felt they should be done, and her business was going well, but she'd reached a cap, you know, she'd got where she was sort of plateaued, if you like, with her income and her clients, and she was a bit frustrated. She wanted to expand and to grow. And it's funny because I remember in my Soulfire Client Attraction Academy, we were on a call, we were chatting, and we were talking about human design, and the 5 line came up, and she said, she just suddenly, her whole demeanor changed, and she said, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be a good girl anymore. And she said, F it, I'm a rule breaker. And she just sat there and said, I'm a rule breaker, and I'm going to do things. And she said, I've always wanted to do things differently, but I always felt like I should do things, you know, in the way I was taught or the way I was told. And so she went off to her group that she runs as her rule breaker, and boom, you know, things have just completely exploded. And of course, people are so attracted to her energy, even more so now, because she's not being all nice and how she was before. She's a bit more sweary, she's a bit more confident, she's a bit more out there. That is the 5 line in action, and it's amazing, absolutely amazing. Okay, so let's carry on. I'm getting all excited now. So let's talk about, when we go back to the 3 steps of client attraction: attract, connect, convert. Let's have a look at another piece of, let's have a look at the connect piece. So we've talked about marketing strategy from a general perspective. We've talked about brand personality, another really important piece. Let's talk now about how you connect and how you can use your human design to connect through your content. So I want you to have a look at your inner authority. So this example is sacral, and then I've got another example here which is emotional. Now your inner authority is how you are making decisions, but this is very much again about your personality. So if you've got an emotional authority, you're going to, this is about feeling and your frequency, your feeling, but also the language that you use. And again, this is very much, a lot of my clients say human design, you know, sort of I knew that about myself, but I've never fully owned it, and it's given me permission to really be myself. And of course that comes through in your content. So when you look at your inner authority, this is very much going to drive the feelings behind your content. I hope that makes sense. And so let's say, for example, you're an emotional authority, and let me know if you are, what your inner authority is. So whether you're sacral, you might be splenic, but let's say, for example, you're an emotional authority. And I had a client who was an emotional authority, and again, in a situation where she was trying to sell her program, trying to pre-sell a program, and she was trying to be very professional and doing things in a, I suppose, a lot of you probably like me are ex-corporate, you know, you taught to do things in a certain way. When she came on our call, on our, again, another Soulfire Client Attraction Academy call, we were talking about launching and pre-selling. And she got very passionate about her program and got teary and got fired up, and she's talking about her vision and the legacy she wants to leave and the ripple effect that she's creating through her program. And it was so emotional, and we were all hanging on every word she said. And she said, but I just don't know how to sell my program. And I laughed, and I just said to her, you're an emotional authority. You've just go and talk to your group in the way that you've just talked to us on this call today. Show that emotion, share that in your content, share that feeling that you have, that desire for creating this ripple effect, for, you know, share those emotions. You don't have to be professional, you have to just be yourself. And again, here we are, human design helping you to be yourself. So if you have an emotional authority, that's how you need to be sharing in your content. It's so, so important. Right, I'm just going to wrap up now because I don't want to go over time. I want to make sure there's time for questions. So inner authority, part of that brand. Last piece of the puzzle is convert, isn't it? So we've talked about attract, connect, and let's talk about convert. So we're going to go back to the profile lines to convert. So we're the 2-5, the 2-4. If you want to play the superhero game, just type superhero. I'll send you your superhero for your type. So the 2-4 superhero is Yoda. The 2-5 superhero, we've got, I've got a masculine and feminine for each one. We've got Princess Di and we've got Gandhi for the 2-5. So the profile numbers help you to convert your content into paying clients, because this is about your magnetism. This is about your offers being aligned, and this is about selling. And this is about, what I do when I work with clients is we combine the profile numbers with your defined centers. So the defined centers here are the ones that are colored. So they're blocks, they're colored. These are your centers of magnetism. So combine these with, I'm trying to do this back to front, combine these with your profile numbers. Remember, this is about personality, this is about your brand. And then combining those with your defined centers, which are your energetic centers of strength in your body. This is what makes you really magnetic. So let me give you a quick example. So let's say you have a defined head center, and that's the triangle that's at the top on your head. It's your head center. It aligns with your head, your crown chakra. This is about how you absorb information from outside of you. So if you've got a defined head center, you are able to very easily create your own inspiration and ideas. If you've got an open head center, you're going to be much more open and influenced by things outside of yourself. And you might, people with an open head center, more open to feeling overwhelmed because you're just taking in all this information. Whereas if you've got a defined head center, you, as I say, you're able to create your own inspiration, but also process in a different way. So just think how that comes through in your content, that you can take this information, and of course we can look at different combinations as well, and really use that to attract, connect, and convert clients through your content. So I'm going to stop there. There's so much more I could share, and as I say, I've got a free training for you. What questions do you have around your human design and using this to attract, connect, and convert with potential clients? Hi Lenka, hi Michelle. Yeah, I can help you if you don't have your time of birth. Start with midday. You can also try midnight and see how different those two things are. Some people use a pendulum to find their time of birth if you don't know it. So there are ways around this. So don't worry, you can still get your human design. Thanks, Corey. Hi, Sharon. Any questions? There's so many layers to human design, but my closing comment for you is you can make a massive difference with your marketing, with your content, and you only really need to look. So we do talk about defined centers in my more advanced training, but for the basic level, to really get competitive edge with your marketing, you only really need to look at these top indicators up here to start with. Doesn't need to be complicated. So I hope that's inspired some of you to have a look at human design, to show you how you can bring this through in your marketing. I would love to answer any questions if you're watching this on replay. And as I say, I'll put a link to I've got a free training which goes through in a lot more detail the different types, the different strategies. So thank you so much again, Aileen, for putting on this amazing event. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I'll see you. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone else's talks this afternoon as well. So I will speak to you all soon. Have a fabulous day.